Yay, it's art time! Hello, my third grader friends. This week we are going to finish up our project that we started last week. Last week we learned about textures that are in everyday objects. So you saw me do a crayon rubbing on a remote control, on paper clips, and we ended up with some pretty cool little pieces of paper. This week we are going to cut up those little pieces of paper and use the lines. And these are called texture dot prints. Last week we made the texture prints, and this week we are going to cut them out and add to them. We are going to add lines to our texture dots. Here is my big long poster of lines. There are curved lines, zigzag, wavy, curly, bumpy, scallop, dotted, twirly, spiral, and crosshatch. There's a lot of different lines. You can see some of mine that I did. You can also add your own lines. You can make up your own. There is a million kinds of lines. In my project, you can see I have my texture dots on top of other papers. And if you don't have construction paper at home, there's a nifty way that you can find cool paper. So I like to use greeting cards, like birthday cards, or this is also from a card, old artwork, or you could draw on paper and then cut it up. This is also old artwork. Magazines work well, but you have to ask before you use those. Newspapers, but those all work to use as background solid shapes. Now you're going to watch me make mine, and you can follow along and make your own. Remember, you are using your texture prints that you made last week. Don't forget that. Okay, let's get into it. The supplies you will need will be the texture prints from last week, scissors, glue, paper, and construction paper. This is sped up, so don't cut this fast. But I am using scissors to cut circles out of my texture dots. Right now they're not perfect, but if I'd like them to, I could use something round to trace, like I did with the tape. And this one I used a cup, so you could use a bowl, a cup, and you use a pencil to trace around the circle, and that gives you a nice, perfect circle. You could do more like cloud shapes, swiggle shapes for these. That is up to you. So now that I have my dots, I'm looking for what construction paper or colored paper I'd like to pair with them. So I'm using a glue stick. You could use a glue bottle or tape. And I am gluing and cutting around each one of my dots. If this is going too fast for you, don't worry, you can always pause it. I just didn't want you to sit here bored watching me cut all of my shapes out. So then I glue with the glue stick again, and I'm gluing it onto my paper. You could use construction paper for your background if you'd like. That is up to you. But I'm making sure there's room for all of my dots. For this one, I see that it doesn't fit all the way on, so I'm going to cut off a little slice and put it to the other side. Now we're looking at lines. So this is the fun part that makes yours look like yours. So you can add your lines all the way around your dots or just on part of your dots. You could use the lines I have on the screen or come up with your own. You could do a lot or a little. I used a black Sharpie. You could use markers of any color, crayons, whatever you would like. And there we go. Looks pretty good. Don't forget to take a photo of your artwork and post it onto our Google Classroom. If you do not post a photo of your artwork, I do not count it, even if you turned it in. I need to see that you did your work. Okay, good luck and have fun!